What's the best way to fuel during your run? Let's talk about it. As long distance runners, it is so important to be well fueled to properly perform during your runs and on race day. Now, the fueling strategy I'm going to be talking about is the method that I use, but it's certainly not me pushing an agenda or suggesting that this is the best way to fuel. It's just what works best for me and can at least give you some inspiration on how you'll implement fueling into your training. Now, fueling for race day doesn't start on race day. It starts 2-3 days before race day in what's called a carb load, where you load your body and your glycogen stores with carbohydrates, which is the source of energy that you'll be pulling from during your race. Now, a myth that needs debunking surrounding your carb load, it isn't just carte blanche to eat whatever you want. It's super important to still make sure that you're getting a good source of nutrition, fibre, whole food carbohydrates, and yes, some sweet treats. But it's important not to base your diet around those sweet treats in the days leading to your race. Pastas, whole wheat breads, potatoes, rice, things like that are so good during your carb load. Now, it's race day. 90 minutes to 2 hours before your race, make sure that you get a good meal which has high amounts of carbohydrates and some, but not too much, protein and fat. Protein and fat as fuel sources are much slower acting. You want to have the carbohydrates in your system fueling you during your race. Then for me personally, about 15-20 minutes before the race, I take my first gel. Then during the race, I have my first gel after 25 minutes and then have another gel every 25 minutes thereafter. I trust timing your gels can be a little bit difficult, but I have a feature on my watch that alerts me every 25 minutes to take fuel during my races. But if you don't have that feature, go off distance to take on a gel. Now, if I'm running a marathon, I'll take my last gel around about the 30 to 32 kilometre mark. Reason being is taking any gels after that is kind of a moot point. You take the gels early in the race to make sure that your carb stores are full for that point later, so you don't hit the wall. And if it's a half marathon, same idea, last gel about 15-16k. Then with every second gel, I also take a salt tab. These are just to help replenish the sodium that I lose through sweating, because for anyone that knows me, I'm a sweaty boy. And for water, I'll collect that from the aid stations, but I'll only take it when I feel like I need it. Now, a few fueling tips that I'll do as a quick fire round. Let's go. Tip number 1, take your own fuel on race day. Don't rely on the gels that will be provided by the organisers. Tip number 2, practice your fueling strategy during all of your long runs in your marathon block. Tip number 3, if you do want to experiment with different energy gels, do that early in your training plan as well. And my last tip, take more gels than you'll need. Hope you guys have a great day. Get out there, enjoy this good weather. Keep running.